Hello, my name is Harsha George. I have decided to make a presentation on acceptance and commitment therapy, known as the ACT model. The presentation has been broken into several sessions, so please look out for the following segments in the ACT series. This is session 1, and today I will focus on the origin of ACT. So I'm going to share the presentation with you now. So before I start, I just want to clarify that I'm not an ACT expert, just an ACT lover. I have no formal training in ACT. I'm so thankful to Dr. Russ Harris for the resources that he has freely made available for us on his website called thehappinesstrap.com and actmindfully.com. Excuse me till I go to the right. Acceptance and commitment therapy is based on a scientific philosophy called functional contextualism. To help you understand what it is, I would like to give you the following illustration. Imagine something has happened to a chair so that the moment anyone sits on it, one of the legs drop off. Would you describe this chair as broken or faulty or damaged? Would you call it a dysfunctional chair or even a maladaptive chair? The instinctive answer, yes, there is something wrong, faulty, or flawed in the chair, ignores the role of context. What are some of the contexts in which the chair functions effectively? Playing a practical joke, creating an exhibition of broken furniture, finding props for a clown's act or a comedy show, demonstrating design flaws in a furniture making class, improving balance, coordination, and muscle strength, hoping to enjoy yourself at work to get a compensation claim. To give you another example, suppose your partner is lost in thought. Think of different forms of behavior to get his attention. You could wave at him, you might shout, you might bang loudly on some furniture. So in this case, many different forms of behavior all have the same function. In functional contextualism, we are interested in the function of a behavior rather than the form of it. To give you another example, imagine 5 different people, each making cuts across their forearm with a sharp knife. Possible functions for this behavior: self-punishment, release of tension, distraction from painful emotions, creating body art. In this case, the form of the behavior is the same, but the function of the behavior is different. So, as per functional contextualism, no thought, feeling, or memory is inherently problematic, dysfunctional, or pathological. Rather, it all depends on the context. In a context of cognitive fusion and experiential avoidance, thoughts, feelings, and memories often function in a manner that is toxic, harmful, or life distorting. In a context of diffusion and acceptance, those very thoughts, feelings, and memories function differently, have less impact and influence over us. They may still be painful, but they are no longer toxic, harmful, or life distorting, and they don't hold us back from valued living. Philosophy of mechanism. Most models of psychology are based on a philosophy called mechanism. Mechanistic models treat the mind as a machine made up of lots of separate parts, problematic thoughts and feelings as faulty parts of the machine or errors in the structure of the machine. The aim in such models is to repair, replace, or remove these faulty parts so the machine can function normally. Mechanistic models of psychology assume that there are inherently dysfunctional, maladaptive, or pathological thoughts, feelings, and memories. ACT versus other models. Other models say that there are memories, feelings, thoughts, emotions, urges, schemas, narratives, ego states, core beliefs, which are fundamentally problematic, dysfunctional, or pathological, and they need to be either fixed or removed. Mechanism has been the most successful philosophy of science in most scientific fields, so most models in psychology are based on mechanistic philosophy. There is nothing wrong or bad or inferior or basic about mechanism. Functional contextualism is a radically different philosophical approach to the mainstream, and it naturally leads to a different way of doing therapy. Three waves of behaviorism in the last century. First wave of behaviorism reached its peak of popularity in the 50s and 60s. Focused primarily on overt behavioral change and utilized techniques like linked to operant and classical conditioning principles. Many practitioners in this first wave did not place much importance on thoughts and feelings. As a result, all behaviorists were accused of treating humans like rats or robots. Second wave of behaviorism took off in the 70s and included cognitive interventions as a key strategy in behavior change, placed a major emphasis on challenging or disputing irrational, dysfunctional, negative, or erroneous thoughts and replacing them with more rational, functional, positive, or realistic thoughts. Cognitive behavior therapy came to dominate the second wave, closely followed by rational emotive behavior therapy. ACT is one of the so-called third wave of behavioral therapies, along with dialectical behavior therapy, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, functional analytic psychotherapy, all of which place a major emphasis on acceptance and mindfulness. I shall stop here for the first session of the ACT series.